jump in this thing and see what it'll do.
You ready to rock this, bro?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. Hey everybody, well, another day in the heat. It's going to be 111 today, or 112, which really doesn't matter. Once it's over 100 and something, it's just hot as shit anyways. Oh, hey Sam. Sammy just came outside to enjoy. Well, I wasn't really going to record doing this car, because it's kind of, I've already kind of done the same thing on the copper 69 Charger. The only difference is on the copper 69 Charger, I didn't replace this. And I didn't replace the plenum underneath this, because you can see it's a little crusty, and the trunk's a little crusty, and this tail light right here is a little crusty, and the sail panels are a little crusty. So there's a couple different things on this car that I didn't do on that copper 69. So, you know, we're not doing quarter panels on this car, because the quarter panels are original paint and they're good looking. So why cut off good metal when it don't need it? That's just stupid. Plus, this is awesome looking. This is nature right here. You can duplicate this, but it's not real. That is nature. I like fresh, shiny paint jobs too, but well, see that one there, that one's just ugly. That one doesn't have a cool look to it. But this does. Between the patina and the primer underneath it and the paint on top of that. So this has a cool look to it. And we're only gonna go so far. Oh, we also got to patch that little down, the inner wheelhouse right there. Most likely have to do that one too. Usually you don't know exactly what you have till you start cutting all the shit off the car, which the metal's already been ordered for this, and the should have noticed that the package tray is kind of crusty. So I may end up having to cut this out of a donor car, or I'll just order a package tray as well. It's pretty, shit, yeah, I might as well just order one. But, oh yeah, got that right there, just messing around. So, got 2 swamp coolers on me, because it's just too hot. When I'm not comfortable, it sucks to work. And if I don't like, and I like doing this stuff. This, to me, I enjoy doing this. And when you're hot and sweating your ass off and just hating it, it becomes less enjoyable to do it. So, which it still ain't like super comfortable right now, but it's doable. I can work with this right now. So what you didn't see that I've already done ahead of time is pretty much dismantle the car. Tail lights out, bumper off. The back glass, well, it was so the original glue that was holding it in was pretty crusty, and a lot of the metal just came with the window. So pretty much the window you just push on. Actually, it's right here. I'll show you. Lightning, what are you doing in the sun? So yeah, here's all the metal around the back window. It's still attached to the glass. So that came out pretty easy. Normally you got to cut around the sides to get the glue loose, but so yeah, window out. I got to clean up the sail panels, and then pretty much I am going to, well, I'm going to get the plasma cutter ready. Now I'm just going to go ahead and start plasma cutting out the big sections of the trunk pan, so that way I can stand in the thing and work in it, and it's just easier to work on. And then since we're not going to use any of this stuff here, we're just going to go ahead and cut that out. Which, actually, you know what, I might as well just save this pan over here. I'll just hang that on the wall. That'd be kind of cool looking. So, pretty much, yeah. I'm going to, you can see how right here I've started cleaning up the metal just so I can see the spot welds, because I want to save the trunk gutter. want to save this trunk gutter, because this trunk gutter actually has the VIN number on it. It is right there. You can just barely faintly see it, but if you stuck a wire wheel on it, you can kind of see the numbers. Yeah, that's actually the VIN number of the car. So we want to save that, and we want to save that. There's no VIN numbers on this one, but there's nothing wrong with it, so we're going to save it. But I need to expose all the spot welds here. There's some here. There's a few underneath here. There's some right here, here. And then, once I get that all exposed, we pretty much just start plasma cutting everything out. I used to do it with a cutoff wheel, but plasma cutter's so much quieter and cleaner. It may burn you a little bit, especially in shorts, but I don't give a shit. I'm not putting pants on. Well, and also we gotta cut these torque boxes out. This guy here is pretty crusty, rusty, which I'll end up having to patch a piece into that, just have to make something. No big deal. Same thing here, cut it all out. But everybody wants to brag about California cars. This is a California car. Just because it came from California doesn't mean it's great. Look along the coast. California's got a big ocean coastline. If that car came from there, it's just as rusty as it would be back east. Alright, well, enough yapping and I'm gonna get to work. I got a lot of shit to do. All I'm really doing here is just cutting out holes so I can get in here and work, because this all has to come out anyway, and plus it's easier to get in here and chisel stuff up when you can get in there with, well, I'm saying a chisel, but just as an example, it's easier to get in there when you can cut this area out and start popping the stuff up once you've drilled it out. Letters out of here. I'll just save those, might be able to do something cool. Out of my way. Now, we'll go ahead and cut this piece out here, because this is junk. Yep, this is junk. So we're going to go ahead and cut the center trunk support out. We're actually gonna save this panel because we're gonna cut the gas tank supports and the spare tire mount and the other spare tire support brackets. So we're gonna save that panel to cut it up for later. But at least now I can get in here and get up on top of this thing and work. So nice thing about having to replace the plumbing here, I don't have to worry about any of these spot welds because this whole thing is going to come out in one piece. All right. Well, now I can actually start cutting this guy out of here. All right, it wasn't too bad, about 20-30 minutes. So got all the spot welds drilled out, got them all chiseled up, and I just went ahead and took the plasma cutter and cut the line right there. This is already rusted on the front side, so there's nothing attaching it. Plasma down this line. And I plasma the little MIG welds in the corner right there. And then we got all this side here, all those spot welds. Actually, you know what? This thing's loose. I bet this thing will pop up. All right. Got a wall hanger. Now we gotta cut this guy out. Here's why we just wanted to cut along the edge. So now we can get to those spot welds right there, drill those guys out, and remove this flange remove that flange. And this thing is pretty foobarred under here. I mean, it's gonna need a package tray for sure. There's just too much junk there. And it's all crusty here in the corner. That's all roof structure, so I'll have to patch that. This stuff here is a little more solid, but most likely I'll have to patch that corner too. But, crusty, rusty. I think this car actually came from around like Sacramento area, which they have a, oh, I forgot what they call it. Oh, but like a little river that runs from the ocean in. I forgot what the hell they call it. But that's got salt water in it. So this car came from that area, I think. Another day, more stuff to drill out, more stuff to grind, and more stuff to cut. But getting pretty close. Now it's just a matter of drilling spot welds and doing some prying and chiseling and grinding. Which actually right now I'm getting ready to pull the trunk lock support out. So, but all I do on this is take the heat gun, or actually the torch, just heat that paint up for like a couple seconds just to soften it, and then the wire wheel will just, I mean, it's just, you basically almost just wipe the paint off. So that way it's easy to see the spot weld. That way I can put my dimples and know and drill exactly in the middle of the spot weld, not to the side of it and have to chisel the crap out of it. So we got two up, we got 4 up here, and I got 4 down there. It was welded at the bottom, but you can see it's rotted away. Well, let me get the drilling real quick. Alright, I've actually started chiseling up some of the trunk pan, but in doing that, I need to get at these spot welds here. And when it's these ones here, I'm not trying to save the trunk pan, so I'm just going to drill straight through it. I'm not going to use a spot weld cutter, just all the way through. And to get rid of the undercoating and get right to the spot welds, I usually just heat up the undercoating. And I'm not trying to turn the thing cherry red. There you go. Quick example to show you. See? There's the spot welds right there. There's 3 of them. I'll do that all the way down and around to about right there. So, I'll go ahead and finish this. Well, we're inside the trunk again. So I'm prying up the trunk pan, as you can see. And the spot weld cutters work good, but a lot of times I just like to use a good old angle grinder with a thin blade on it. Well, not too thin. It's probably about 1/8 inch, I guess. What I'll do here is sometimes it's pretty hard to find the spot welds because the whole thing just looks like Titanic. So what I'll do is I'll kind of feel around, I'll find one, and then I'll just do like this, as you can see right here. I'll just grind the top of the spot weld, which actually takes less time, or about the same time than it would to actually drill it out with the spot weld cutter. So, and plus this way, I don't know, I just like this way better than using the spot weld cutter. Well, there's time and place for spot weld cutter, and there's time and place for this. And when you're dealing with Titanic stuff and you can't find the spot welds, plus sometimes the rust will actually kill the spot weld cutter faster than clean metal. So I don't know, I just use this. So I know there's one right here, I can feel it, and you can see you can see right where they pinch together. So I know there's one right there, so I'll go ahead and grind that out, and then I'll pry up. And you can kind of see, when you start prying up and going backwards, you can start to see the indentation of where the spot weld's at. So then you just grind around that one, pry it up, then you start seeing the indentation of another one, pry it up. So you grind that one out, pry it up, and just move along. The indentations of the spot welds will start appearing when you start prying up. So that's how I kind of go about doing this area. But I guess you can watch for a minute. I'm going to keep moving on down the row here. Well, right now it's just a whole bunch of chiseling and drilling. So as you can see right here, we went ahead and drilled all the spot welds out on the wheelhouse. Don't need to save the trunk panel. It's underneath it. You can just drill straight through it with a drill bit. Don't need a spot weld cutter. I think I already said that, but I'm saying it again. Can't remember. Area over here was a little damaged, but kind of straightened it out. Just trying to get everything chiseled out, drilled out. Like same thing on the back side. Since we're not trying to save the trunk pan, we can just drill straight through the tail panel, or the rear valence. Not trying to save it. So I'm just gonna start right here. I'm just gonna continue on over here, and then finish getting the rest of the trunk pan up on that side. Kind of boring, just chiseling, hammering, drilling, some plasma cutting, grinding. This is the shitty part on doing a trunk pan. Well, we're out in the desert and we got sawzalls. We just cut off what we needed for the green car. This is a car that somebody had told me about out here in the desert. Somebody had dumped it in a wash. So we went ahead and came out here because there ain't no VIN numbers. There's nothing on this car. And there's nothing really worth saving off of. This car was a rotted pile of shit. That's why I never tried to drag it out of here and take it home. But it did have a couple pieces on it that we snagged off of it. Some trim pieces and whatnot, but overall the car was a piece of shit. It wasn't worth me trying to drag home. I mean, that thing is junk. But I do got the stuff I needed to go ahead and fix that green car. Plus, I got an extra package tray now, and I got a plenum. Here, lift that up real quick. Show them. This was the reason for coming all the way out here, is I need this inner roof structure here to fix the green car. Now this one ain't the greatest, but it's doable, and it's got a good plenum on it, a good package tray, so I can save that stuff for later. But you know, Chargers don't often become parts cars, but this one definitely was. We robbed off of what we could. I even cut the gas cap area off of it. Just, I don't know. People are always asking for that shit. But this thing is El Junco. And we're gonna go ahead and throw that in the trunk of the General Lee up there. Where is it at? Yep, right up there, and get the hell out of here. I'm thirsty and hungry. You ready, Derek?
Yeah, man.
All right, let's try and get that junk in the trunk. Ooh, that rhymed.
Just some good old boys.
Well, it's another day, actually like probably 2 days later since I filmed anything on this car last. Actually, we're getting ready to go live on answering some questions, a little Q&A. Ooh, look at that little handsome guy right there. Or lack thereof. One or the other. My mom says I'm handsome. Well, I am getting ready to cut out a wheelhouse. Oh. Let me squeeze under here. You notice I got some bars welded to my trunk support, because when I cut this inner wheelhouse out, this thing here is just going to be floating like Back to the Future in midair. I'm going to drill out all the spot welds that are here, And that way this whole back half, I guess, oh there they go. That way this whole back half comes out and I can just weld the new one in. Just roll it up in from the bottom and put it in place. The reason I welded some braces to the trunk support is so that way this thing doesn't change its location. It'll stay put where it's supposed to be at. Because I don't want the trunk to be all off-center, cued, whatnot. So it's just gonna hold its location right there. So that way this center pin won't go anywhere. Alright, well, I need to get to cut. Actually, I really should drill these out first. Which I might. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to cut the edge and then I'll drill. Actually, you know what? Dang it. I need to drill them out first. Alright, well, I'm going to get on that. And then I'll get back to you when they're done being drilled out.